Plus I'm storming on these chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid. I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. Slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid your boy whole weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole plan. Lay your ass down for the 3 seconds tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. 5 pounds of courage, bloody base, 10 hands with a gold tee. It's a war dance, a victory step. A boss stance is a gift, and you insist it's my rep. John Cena trademark, y'all are so and talk about the.
Hi everyone and welcome to the first box opening for God's Arena. Bienvenue à tous et merci d'être présents pour cette première ouverture de boîte pour la Reine des Dieux. I hope everyone enjoys the stream. So I'll begin in about like 5 minutes, just so everyone gets to watch. Meanwhile, I'm sorry for the weird setup. My webcam had some problems this morning, and this is the best I could do in the time I had, so sorry in advance for that. Alors, merci à tous d'être présents aujourd'hui. Je veux m'excuser à l'avance des petits problèmes techniques. Je sais que c'est pas le meilleur angle de caméra, mais j'ai eu des petits problèmes avec ma webcam et disons que mon setup est pas optimal, mais pour ce qui est du futur, ça devrait être mieux. Alors, comme je l'ai dit, je vais commencer la vidéo d'environ 5 minutes, juste pour laisser le temps à tous de rejoindre le stream. D'ici là, je vais vous montrer des superbes cartes de Dragons of Tarkir, comme Feed the Clan. Très excitante, n'est-ce pas? On remarque aussi que ma caméra a un peu de difficulté avec son focus. Et moi avec le cadrage, mais bon, c'est des choses que je vais améliorer au fil du temps.
Executed.
Petit test sonore. Donc aujourd'hui, c'est une boîte de Eternal Master que nous allons ouvrir, une série à tirage limité qui est sortie tout récemment. Et à la fin du stream, vous pourrez revisionner la vidéo si vous le désirez et bien entendu acheter les cartes en magasin à la boutique La Reine des Dieux, située au 2300 Boulevard Masson. So today we will open a booster box of Eternal Masters. This is a limited product from Wizards, and you will be able to buy the singles at our store called God's Arena. Unfortunately, our website is not available yet, but you will be able to order singles soon online on our website. Donc je vais laisser encore 2 minutes le temps que tout le monde soit connecté, tous ceux qui voulaient assister au déballage en direct. Yeah, I definitely need to learn how to do camera angles. This is not my forte. Usually when I stream, it's easy. The camera is just pointing at me and you put it on top of your screen. But for an unboxing, it's kind of different. You have to place the camera so you actually have a different angle and one that you can clearly see the cards, which is not kinda great right now, but I think it will be fine for today, but definitely something I want to fix for the next unboxing. So it's now 11:05 and I will start the unboxing. Unlike traditional projects from Wizards, Eternal Masters only have 24 packs, but there's a foil in each booster packs, and the foils are where you'll do the most of your money. There are quite a few rares that are worth more than $20, but if you're lucky enough and have a foil rare or a foil mythic, this is where the money is for this series. There are quite a bunch of uncommons or commons that were never printed with the modern frame, and these cards in foil are worth quite a bunch, like Hydroblast and Pyroblast, I think. If you're lucky enough to pull one of these cards, well, they are worth this word. They are worth quite a bit. So let's begin. J'aimerais en profiter pour dire merci à tous ceux qui visionnent la vidéo en ce moment en direct. Je sais que la plupart doivent être francophones, mais pour ce qui est de la vidéo, je vais surtout parler en anglais étant donné que c'est ce qui rejoint le plus de gens. Donc je m'en excuse à l'avance, la vidéo sera pas entièrement bilingue, contrairement à ce que j'avais débuté. Ça va être un peu moins lourd aussi pour ce qui est de ma présentation. Alors, premier booster. First booster. Oh, and one more thing. Since there are a lot of cards that we don't really care about, I will mostly skip to just uncommons, rare, and foils. Oh, Malicious Affliction. Not the kind of card you want to open, but well, let's just hope this box won't be a Malicious Affliction, because this will be bad. And Umbrella. Come on, webcam. So that first booster wasn't really good, like not even one good uncommon. At least that is worth money, I mean. So let's hope the second pack is a bit better, because, well, that's not off to a great start. Invigorate is quite good. First time with a modern frame, if I recall correctly. Another shrine? These shrines are not really good, sorry. Isakron's Scepter is decent, worth like maybe $2 or $3, no, not exactly sure. And the foil, the tap land that gains life. Not exciting. Oh, and there are quite a few tokens in this series that are worth $2 or more, like the Elemental from Young Pyromancer and the new Spirit that has a kick-ass heart. Hopefully we pull some for this from this box. So not so great so far. 2 boosters that are worth not that much. Counterspell. Medican, which I saw supposedly worth $3, but I'm not sure why exactly, because this always screams like junk card for me. I get that it's kind of a ramp card for colorless decks, but it's not super great, and I'm pretty sure that someone who inflated the price online. But it's an uncommon. It's a sweet uncommon. Tooth and Claw, which was a rare, if I remember correctly, in Tempest. Pretty good in token strategies because you can sacrifice 2 creatures, but you can sacrifice 2 tokens, so can be great. Wall of Omens, great uncommon. Heritage Druid, wow, this is one of the greatest elves in this set. Heritage Druid is like a PR of the elf strategy. Always great, and this is like the biggest target you want to kill in the elf deck because it enables so much broken plays. And this is a sweet pull. And Brago King Eternal Foil. This is sweet. This was from Conspiracy. Really sweet foil. And a Surf. This is one of the new tokens. I don't remember which card makes Surf tokens. Is it Sengir Autocrat, maybe? Not sure. But sweet token nonetheless. Okay, on to the next pack. This pack was worth like more than the 2 other packs we opened so far, but still nothing crazy. Centaur Chieftain, Sword to Plowshares, always a cool card to have. Brainstorm, Swords and Brainstorm in the same pack. And our first mythic, Argotian Enchantress. And the foil Sentinel Spider. Spirit token. Argotian Enchantress, sweet card. Kinda niche though, because there's only really one deck that wants her, and it's the enchantment deck in Legacy. And this is a deck that often goes to time from experience, but still Argotian in a model frame, pretty sweet card overall. So not so bad. Here from this next booster we have Timberwatch Elf, a very sweet elf that gives +X until end of turn, where X is the number of elves on the battlefield. You can imagine in draft that this card is out of control if you have a lot of elves. It's a sweet uncommon overall. Prodigal Sorcerer with a new heart and a modern frame. This is one of the cards that I'm a bit torn about, because Prodigal Sorcerer is a color pie break in my mind. I know it's just a a sweet callback to older times for new players, because pinging one damage per turn a creature or player is definitely something you'd see in red nowadays, but back in the old school Magic, Prodigal Sorcerer was in blue color pies with cards like Psionic Blast and cards that dealt damage, even though blue nowadays will draw cards or just control. But that's a sweet card. A Messy Tome and Dark Faden, second mythic. That's already a good box. 2 mythics and 2 mythics that are worth something. Dark Faden was another card from Conspiracy. So far we have 2 rares or mythics from Conspiracy that are playable, and Dak is definitely the one that was the rarest in Conspiracy with the dragon that has Dethrone. So sweet to have Dark Faden back. Oh, and Pyroblast Foil. That's a nice pull, yeah. I think that's worth a little sound effect.
Godlike.
Yeah, right. So Pyroblast Foil with the modern foiling, I think that's worth like $40. For an uncommon, that's pretty sweet. So in the same pack, Dark Faden and Pyroblast Foil, are you kidding me? Yeah, sometimes it happens with Eternal Masters. And this is a sweet token to the wall from Tidal Wave. 5/5 Defender. You can play it as a combat trick when you cast 2 colorless and 1 blue as an instant. So this booster, the best one so far. Here we have Brown, which is kind of cool, in the same cycle as Wonder. I think it's from Odyssey or an old set. As long as Brown is in your graveyard and you control a forest, creatures you control have trample. Oh, I'm sorry, wasn't focused on the card. Fact or Fiction, Ancestral Mask, and Dual Caster Mage, which is kind of good. It's more of a commander card, but still a sweet effect. It has Flash. When Dual Caster Mage enters the battlefield, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So there are a lot of very funny plays you can have with Dual Caster Mage, as long as you're lucky, but still a sweet card. And we have Dragon Egg, a common. Not so exciting. And a dragon to go with our little Dragon Egg. Nice little dragon token. You even have the Fire Breath ability on the token, which is sweet. So on to the next pack. Alright, I just want to show Emperor Crocodile, because that card was a rare before and it has been downshifted all the way back to common, which means it's legal in Pauper now. That's pretty sweet. You have a 5/5 for only 4 mana, with the downside of if you have no other creature you must sacrifice the Emperor Crocodile, but you're playing green, so you always have creature, right? Bloodbraid Elf, a very sweet card and even sweeter in limited. Maybe we'll have the Cascade Mythic to go with it. Victimize, another card from Conspiracy, and of course from another set. You choose 2 target creatures in your graveyard, you sacrifice a creature, and if you do, you return the chosen card to the battlefield tap. Very sweet reanimator effect. Hydroblast. So we had Pyroblast earlier foil, now we have the uncommon Hydroblast. not foil, unfortunately. And the rare Enlightened Tutor. Very good tutor. For you search your library for an artifact or enchantment card and reveal that card. Shuffle your library, then put that card on top of it. Always a good card. I think it's played in mostly in Definite Access, maybe in Legacy or Enchantress decks. But where it shines the most, I think it's Commander, because tutors and commanders are always ridiculous, and this one is no exception. For any artifact or enchantment, it's really good, and a sweet pull overall. And our four is Elvish Vanguard, which is worth quite a few dollars because it's a really playable common. I think it was uncommon before. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Elvish Vanguard. So you can imagine that this card is very good in an elf deck. Very sweet foil. The soldier token. So our first uncommon from this pack, Burning Vengeance, always sweet to play in limited. It's a build around card that is the ultimate payoff for going all the way in flashback. And there are a lot of flashback cards in the set, so Burning Vengeance, very sweet card. Thunderclaw Weaver, Prismatic Lens, and Diminishing Returns. Not exactly the most exciting rare. Each player shuffles his or her hand and graveyard into his or her library. You exile the top 10 cards of your library, then each player draws up to 7 cards. It's a weird card, very difficult to play, and I'm not quite sure why they included it in this set. I think it never had a modern frame, so maybe that's the reason, but it's not really exciting card to pull. Our foil Gaseous form, which is kind of removal from blue deck, some weird pacifism effect. Again, not exactly the most exciting thing to see. And an elephant token. Curd Ape, which was a non-common, and now in a modern frame, so it means it's now playable in Pauper Zoo decks, so that's pretty fun. Curd Ape, which is always a good aggressive card. The only problem is that in Pauper you don't have dual lands, so it will really be a 2/3 for 1 unless you're lucky and you play something like Evolving Wilds on turn 2, but aggressive decks don't really want lands that enter the play tapped, so it's kind of not sure it will be that great in Pauper, but still the option of playing it is sweet. Havoc Demon, I think that was a rare that has been downshifted to uncommon. Flying, when Havoc Demon dies, all creatures get -5, -5, yeah, sorry, my French. -5 is -5 until end of turn. Field of Souls, which is one of my favorite cards in Limited. Whenever a non-token creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, you put a 1/1 white spirit creatures with flying onto the battlefield, so it's pretty sweet. Taking Gnomes, and Deathrite Shaman, always a good card. Unfortunately, which is banned in Modern for good reason. You don't want to see Liliana of the Veil on turn 2, but still, Deathrite Shaman, always a great card. And our foil Eye Blight Handing, destroy target non-elf creature for 2 colorless mana and 1 swamp, or 1 black. Oh, and the first spirit token that I talked about earlier, with a very sweet heart from Daniel Ljunggren. Sorry, I'm misspelling. So very sweet token. So we're approaching the half, I think, of our box, and so far I think the value is a bit higher than I expected, thanks to cards like Helvish Vanguard Foil. We have our Pyroblast Foil, of course, Dark Faden, Argoten Enchantress, Foil Brago, Heritage Druid. This box is already, I wouldn't say super great, but it's great. Like, I definitely saw boxes that had half of the value of what I already opened, and we have a lot of packs to go for, so pretty exciting times. Wildwood Symbiote, which is not an elf, but a pretty exciting card nonetheless. It's an insect that allows you to return an elf you control to its owner's hand in order to untap target creature, but you can activate this ability only once each turn. It's a very good card that wasn't available in modern framing, I think. So great uncommon. We haven't seen the really money, the money uncommons so far, like Chain Lightning, Cabal Therapy, and stuff like that. But still, Wildwood Symbiote is great too, I think. Fate Feather, Quiet Speculation, which is a very difficult card to play because you search target player's library for up to 3 cards with flashback and put them into that player's graveyard. Then that player shuffles his or her library. So, Quiet Speculation is quite hard to play, but if you have something like Burning Vengeance and you want to finish the job and have a lot of flashback cards in the grave, it's okay, but still not that great. Pyrokinesis, which is not a very exciting rare. It's rare because it's really busted and limited. All you have to do is exile a red card and do 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, so it can be a 4 for 1, but otherwise it costs 6, which is still okay to do 4 damage as you want. But as far as value is concerned, this card is not what you want. Hopefully our foil is better. Zealous Persecution, at least it's playable. It's played in Modern, and it's a card that's very sweet, so not really a bad uncommon at all to be foiled. And our first Elemental token, which is worth around $2 right now, of course made from Young Pyromancer's triggered ability. So there are 14 packs left. Here we go with the next one. Already approaching the half hour mark, so maybe I'll go a bit faster because I don't want to go over 1 hour for sure. Armadillo Cloak, which is unbeatable and limited, or almost. +2/+2, trample, and whatever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life, which is a bit different from lifelink. This is the old wording of lifelink, I think, but it's a pretty sweet card. If you're lucky enough to play that unlimited, it's very hard for your opponent to race it. Dragon Predator, a good utility card that whenever it connects by damaging the other player, you may destroy an artifact or enchantment that player controls. So it's a pretty sweet card. And here my camera is going haywire. Phyrexian Ingester, another rare that has been downshifted to uncommon. And this card is very sweet and limited too. And it allows you to kill almost any creature and get a bigger creature of your own, which is always a good payoff. And Duplicant. Very sweet creature that removes a creature from the game. And gains his power and toughness. So super sweet in Commander. And I think that's about everywhere it's played. So it's a Commander card. And our foil Glimmer Point Tag. Sweet Goblin Token. On to the next pack. So not very a great pack, but we still have quite a few packs over to make some value. Got Battle Squadron, Calcidern, which is like there's a green card that does exactly the same thing, which I forgot the name of, which is the same, really the same card. It's a Shroud Vanishing for 5/5 for 4, very hard to block because you can only chump block it. So it's a good limited card. Another Hooded of Night's Reach and Xanthid Swarm, which is played in combo decks in Legacy to make sure that your combo is uninterrupted. And this is about where it's played. I mean, I'm not sure it's played anywhere else, but it's a sweet card that had no modern frame. So Xanthid Swarm. And our foil Reckless Charge, +3/+0, and gains haste until end of turn. Flashback for 3. And another Elemental token, which, as I said earlier, is worth about $2 because Young Pyromancer is a very played card, and the Elemental tokens were hard to find. And they're still here. They're still here, hard to find. First uncommon from this pack, Necratal, which kills a creature when it comes into play, as long as it's non-black. And that creature can be regenerated. So you have a lot of value out of a 2/1 for 4. Torrent of Souls. Daze. Pretty great uncommon. It's played a lot in Legacy, in Delver builds, and Infect. You may return an island you control to its owner's hand rather than pay Daze mana cost, so that's how it's played most of the time, as a surprise counter, hard counter. You counter target spell unless its control pays 1. So when you just bounce one of your lands, it's always a surprise effect, and your opponent most of the time won't be able to pay the 1, so very sweet card, sweet uncommon. And Ichorid, a dredge card, the dredge card, should I say, and whoa, something just fell apart. Okay, no problem. Ichorid, very sweet card. And Roar of the Worm, flashback card that puts a 6/6 green worm onto the battlefield. So yeah, not that great. And a Goblin token. So hopefully we still have like 1 or 2 surprises left. There are quite a few packs left, so I'm hoping for another mythic, or at least I have some sweet uncommons like Chain Lightning, Cabal Therapy, M22 Rack. Extract from Darkness, another card from Conspiracy. And as a side note, Conspiracy 2 will release in August. I think it's at the mid-August. So look forward to that. Sengir Autocrat. So earlier I was wondering what was the surf token for, and as I thought, it's Sengir Autocrat. First time with a modern frame. When Sengir Autocrat enters the battlefield, you put 3/01 black surf creature tokens onto the battlefield. But when it dies, well, all the tokens dies too. So it's a good card. Mesa Enchantress, which was a rare, now an uncommon. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may draw a card. And Maze of It, yeah. So this is like one of the best lands ever printed in Magic. It's worth about $20, but still it will always be worth something, because you remove one creature from combat with, even though it doesn't give mana, you don't care. You just deal with any creature or almost any creatures for the remainder of the game, or at least for as long as you control Maze of It. So that's a very good card, and that's worth a little sound effect. So even though it's maybe not godlike, I think that it's pretty close. So you get a godlike for Maze of It.
Godlike.
Yeah, right. And a foil Showdown Ranger. Oh, and the Carnivore token, which is new because Tooth and Claw is an old card from Tempest, and they had never printed the token before Eternal Master. So it's sweet to have the possibility of playing a beast Carnivore in your deck. If you play Tooth and Claw or something, that I think it's the only card that makes a Carnivore, so if you play Tooth and Claw, at least you can have the token now. So for our next pack, we have Glimmerpoint Stag. Still no Chain Lightning or Cabal Therapy, that sucks. But still, we had good rares, so can't complain that much. Flame Jab or Priest of Tune. And another Brago, but this time not a foil. Still, that set has so many cards from Conspiracy, and I have the feeling that we open so much. Tragic Slip foil. And a Soldier. So we're approaching from the final packs of our box of Eternal Masters. So far it's satisfying, but it's not like spectacular. Keldon Champion. Necratal, another one. Price of Progress, finally a good uncommon that is worth something. Price of Progress is one of the best burn spells ever printed, in formats that obviously have a lot of unbasic lands. So that's a legacy card, because it's not legal in Modern. For good reason, because imagine this card in Modern, burn is already like tier 1 or at least tier 1.5. So this card would push it like to tier 0 maybe, with all the shocklands and fetches. But Price of Progress is one of my favorite cards. It's an instant for 2 mana, 1 colorless and 1 red, that allows you to deal damage to each player equal to twice the number of non-basic lands that player controls. So oftentimes you'll play this card and deal 4 to 6 damage in Legacy, unless the player really plays around it. But in Legacy it's hard to play around it when the format is defined by double lands, like the duals. So Price, good card. And Gamber, another good card which was pretty difficult to find before. With this reprint, the value tanked a little bit, but Gambler is always a great card, one of the few tutors that in red. Search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, discard a card at random, then shuffle your library. So it's a really sweet tutor effect in red, something that like red doesn't get often. So Gambler and a foil shelter. And another goblin. So there are only 7 packs left. I'm still hoping for a big surprise. So far, the biggest sweet pull we got is Pyroblast foil, and I hope we can beat it with something like a very sweet mythic or a crazy rare foil or something. I'm not getting my hopes up too much, but I think in 7-0 I can reverse time. Dragon token. So sorry about that. Shaman of the Pack. Sweet card. Which is out of focus thanks to my shitty webcam. Which is not that shitty, it's an HD webcam, but not sure why exactly the focus is so wrong. Annihilate. Ashnod's Altar, one of the few uncommons you really want from this set because of the sweet heart. And because it's a very sweet card overall. You sacrifice a creature to add 2 colorless to your mana pool. Imagine that in a token deck. Very broken. And Mystical Tutor, definitely our box has a lot of tutors. We had Enlightened Tutor, Gambler, and now Mystical Tutor. All sweet tutors, and not junk rares, not at all. Mystical in particular is very great, because instant and sorcery cards, with almost all decks play instant and sorcery, and for 1 blue mana, that's a lot of value. And just like Enlightened Tutor, you put the card on top of your library. And Fateless Looting Foil, which is probably worth something. I think the first print in Innistrad was worth around $20 when it released. So there are already some in circulation, so I'm not sure Fateless Looting Foil is still worth as much as before, but still a sweet card. And the dragon token I revealed first. So 7 packs left. I think I lied and I already said that there were 7 packs left. Now it's true. Final stretch of this box. Fact or Fiction, Undone of Cleansing Fire, Ancestral Mask, and Viscera the Dreadful. A legendary creature with flying for 6, 3 of which are 3 blacks, that allows you to destroy any creature, and it can be regenerated by just simply tapping it. So great card for limited, but not worth anything. Oh my god! Mystical Tutor Foil! That's gotta be worth something.
Godlike.
Yeah. So this is the rare I was hoping to pull, but not specifically Mystical Tutor, but any rare foil that is playable is where you make your money with Eternal Masters. So Mystical Tutor is very, very sweet, and this card will we will probably sell this card like almost instantly. I can feel it. Like every commander player wants this card in his deck if it has blue, and yeah, very, very sweet card. And another Surf token. I think that
Godlike.
yeah. Okay. So I'm already happy with the box. Now everything else is just gravy. Undone of Life's Web, Blood Artist, one of the best uncommons in Limited. For 2 mana you have a 0/1, and whenever a creature, including Blood Artist, dies, you drain for 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Soul Catcher and Glare of Subdue are pretty bad rare, unfortunately. I won't even go over it. And Emperor Crocodile, which I talked a bit about earlier, because it was a rare downshifted to common, so legal for pauper. So kind of a sweet foil. And another spirit token, one of my favorite new tokens from this set. Brown, Burning Vengeance, Mishra's Factory. So this card is a classic. It's a manland that becomes 2/2 and you can tap it, so it's essentially a 3/3 after blocks. So very sweet card. Green Sun Zenith, not too shabby. One of the best green tutors available, which was banned in Modern 2 because you can imagine with Collected Company and Green Sun Zenith that will push Absent Company to tier 0 maybe. That would be stupid. So Green Sun Zenith, a very broken green card. And a Giant Tortoise! Hooray for Giant Tortoise!
Unstoppable.
Yeah, you're unstoppable, Tortoise. And a spirit token. So if anyone is wondering, no, I'm not a League of Legends player, but I just thought that would add a bit of flair to the stream. So here we have Juggernaut. Chain Lightning, yeah, that's nice.
You have been slain.
Whoa, that's not what I meant. That's the contrary. Chain Lightning, one of the best uncommon, one of the best red cards. It's like, you can't have more value than that with a red card. It's Lightning Bolt, but instead of being an instant, it's a sorcery. Everyone knows what that card does. I'm not really sure why I describe it, but if you're not an old school player, maybe you don't know what Chain Lightning does. So it's a Lightning Bolt, so 3 damage for 1 red, with the particularity that your opponent can pay 2 red and fling that back in your face. So that makes some very funny plays. So yeah.
Legendary kill.
Relic of Progenitus, one of the best anti-graveyard tech around. And Unexpectedly Absent, which was a card in Commander, very sweet card. And a foil Grave Digger. And an Elephant token. So 3 packs left, maybe one surprise, but the foil mystical tutor was already happened, so I'm not really sure there's something else in these packs. Tooth and Claw again, Rancor, Gaia's Blessing, and Giant Solifuge, one of the junkiest rares in this set. So yeah, 2 colorless, hybrid mana, red green, tramper ace shroud, but it's a 4/1, so that's what kills these creatures. Unfortunately, unplayable in my mind, unless you're playing against control maybe. So not a good card. And Seal of Strength foil, and another dragon. So it's the third dragon tokens we got. Final 2 boosters, and this stream is over. Hopefully you liked my presentation, even though with my broken English. Battle Squadron. Animate Dead. One of the uncommons I wanted to see in this box, so at least we got one. Still no Cabal Therapy though, or M2 Turak, but Animate Dead is super sweet. Hundred of Cleansing Fire. And this time I will begin with the tokens for more exciting moments. So a spirit. No, I will reveal the rare or mythic. 3, 2, 1, go! Boo! Karmic Guide, which is a good card, but not something you wanted to put in an Eternal Master pack. So flying protection from black, 2/2 echo 5. When it enters the battlefield, you return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's kind of sweet, but not something I wanted to see in this box. And the foil is Orcish Oriflame. For 4 attacking creatures you control, get +1/+0. So yeah, that's it. So final pack. Beginning with that token, Health Warrior token, which is playable. So that's the foil, that's the rare. Beetleback Chief, Roar of the Worm, and one M2 Turak. So we only missed Cabal Therapy, I think. So that's pretty sweet. And M2 Turak, in limited, it's so stupid, and it's always a card that I appreciated as a black player. M2 Turak leads to you can win the game if you play M2 Turak on turn 1 or 2 by making them discard their lands. So very sweet card with the, I think it's maybe the From the Vault art or the Commander art from Greg Staples. Very great card. And now for the rare, the last rare. I can feel your excitement. Oh, sorry.